The New York Knicks traded for OG Anunoby and they threw him in at the deep end. The Timberwolves came into town and we got a little glimpse of what my London brother OG has to offer this Knicks team. And I'm going to give you 5 reasons, breaking down some film, why he is the perfect fit for this Knicks starting lineup and even the bench units too. We're going to dive into it. Now, the first thing is pretty obvious. Defense. We all know that OG is one of the best defenders in the entire NBA. I'm just glad now he's in New York, the rest of the league and the casual fans and the media are all going to realize and recognize. His primary assignment for this game was one of the best scorers right now in the NBA, Anthony Edwards, who did finish with 35 points, but it didn't feel like he was in control of the game like it usually does in his masterclass performances. OG did a great job in making life difficult for the Ant-Man. So this was one of my favorite possessions of OG guarding Anthony Edwards. Straight away here, he's going to establish contact and let the defender know that nothing easy is going to go down. I'm not just going to soft switch on this screen. He does go under, but that's okay because he knows Anthony Edwards is not Steph Curry. As great as Anthony Edwards is, he's not pulling up to hit that. So he stays with Ant-Man. Then there's the screen from Cat. He goes over the screen. It's not often in the NBA you see many guys fighting over screens unless they're elite defenders. And then here we go. This is Ant's bag. He gets into this mid-range fadeaway kind of move. He gives that little head fake. OG stays on his feet. Great defensive principles. He's got his hand up, ready to contest any shot. His body is still in a low base. His body is not upright. So he does a great job of not jumping. He stays on his feet, doesn't jump, crowds him, allows everyone else to stay home on their man, and that results in a turnover for the Timberwolves. He also did a great job when his assignment was Karl-Anthony Towns, as he's strong enough to guard 7-footers. So when he's guarding Cat, he does a great job of saying it's not going to be an easy back down. Look, Karl-Anthony Towns wants the ball there. OG's saying, no, you ain't going to be back me down easily. Instead, Cat has to come all the way onto the perimeter to catch it. You know Cat loves to shoot the 3 ball, so straight away the first thing OG does, he gets his hand up to know that that shot will be contested. And then he's strong. Look at this. He uses his lead arm. He's creating that little bar there to not allow Karl-Anthony Towns to drive in. You see, look at where he's gone. He's gone around. This is where Karl-Anthony Towns ended up, right? Karl-Anthony Towns wants to get into the paint to use his height, but OG's strong enough to prevent that, forces Karl-Anthony Towns to take a tough shot, who misses, complains to the referee. OG's size and strength allows the Knicks to switch when they need to because they're not worried about him being matched up with taller players. Now I want you to look at this possession here. We've got Ant-Man in the corner. He's going to receive a screen from Gobert and usually comes up and catches the ball on the 45 here on the 3-point line. Instead, OG's going to chase him. He's going to chase him. He even gets past this screen that Karl-Anthony Towns is trying to set on him as well. A very soft screen, but it's Cat. What do you expect? So instead of Anthony Edwards catching the ball where he wanted to, he's instead already up here with OG. And so the time he receives the ball, because look, OG's denying him, he receives the ball at half court. Look at the difference there. And now they're already down to 13 seconds in the shot clock. Now, OG does a great job. Julius Randle decides he wants to switch this. So they switch. Now, OG is guarding Cat. Traditionally, a 7-footer would use their strength to get to the paint, but he knows that Cat wants to shoot. So he's playing this passing lane. He wants to deny any chance of a pass. He's saying, Anthony Edwards, go to work. I believe in Julius Randle. Now, Julius does an okay job. OG's doing a great job. As soon as he sees Anthony Edwards going up to try and take his shot, OG's already rushing back to go and get that board. As he does that, look, he's in position to get the rebound. He could even block out Rudy Gobert here with a box out, but Julius Randle commits the foul. But I like the process from OG. OG's defensive versatility also allows him to play the 4 position when the bench unit comes into the game. Now, not only did OG guard the opposing team's best scorers, he played amazing help defense too. On this play, he's guarding Naz Reid down here in the corner. They run a little action with Kyle Anderson, pick and roll with Rudy Gobert, and OG Anunoby, as soon as he sees that pass coming, look, you can see his body weight start to shift as he sees Rudy Gobert has a clear lane to the hoop, and that pass is going to come over the top for him to finish a lob. As soon as he sees that, you can see he's already started to shift his body weight into the painted area to contest this, and he contests it perfectly. Comes away, the Knicks go and score on the other end. Now, I said he's one of the best defenders in the league, but it's not just his defense that made the Knicks want to make this trade. Let's talk about the other side of the ball as well. Now, some expect the Knicks offense to suffer without Barrett and Quickley, who are two of the better ball handlers, certainly better ball handlers than OG, you would think, being on their roster. However, without them, for the first game at least, it might just be me watching this, but you let me know in the comments, the ball seemed to move a bit quicker. OG gets the ball and he immediately wants to make the pass, wants to make the right cut. It felt like the entire team had quicker decision making overall, and that's something that RJ wasn't quite offering them. So we talked about his defense, now let's look at some of his passing. The Knicks ran this play for him to start the game. So first offensive possession for the New York Knicks. OG is going to receive a couple of screens, set a screen for DiVincenzo, and then when he receives this screen from Hartenstein, Hartenstein does a great job of catching Anthony Edwards behind the screen, meaning OG has the ball and he only has to worry about Rudy Gobert. And as this play unfolds, because Anthony Edwards is trying to come over the top of the screen, that gives the Knicks a 2-on-1. You've got OG and you've got Hartenstein going downhill. As this play unfolds, he has a beautiful little dump off pass to Hartenstein because Rudy Gobert has to commit to OG. Right here, he's committed. And then he's got to get back to Hartenstein. And as a multiple time defense player of the year winner, he does this. But what happens is Karl-Anthony Towns is pinching in here, leaving Julius Randle wide open in the corner, and that results in a 3-pointer. OG didn't get the assist, but it's his pass to Hartenstein in the perfect position that set that up. The unselfishness and the ball movement is contagious. Now, we saw the possession where he guards Karl-Anthony Towns, forces the miss, and in transition here, OG's coming away with it. Now, you've got a one-on-one. Most players would look to try and score here. It's a one-on-one against the defender that's smaller than him, probably will foul him. But OG, unselfish as always, sees his teammates. Not only does he see the man in the corner, he knows Jalen Brunson will be open as well because this defender is going to close out to the corner. And that is exactly what happens. They move the ball once. They move the ball twice. They find a wide open man who knocks it down. There's Josh Hart. He doesn't have the reputation of one of the league's best playmakers. However, he does have a high IQ and knows how to make the right reads when he does have the ball in his hands. Here you go. OG Anunoby in the corner, spacing the floor. Josh Hart is going to drive. And he does that to receive the pass in the corner. Now he catches it and he does a great job of catching the ball and instantly getting to a rip-through move to beat Naz Reid, to drive, draw the defense. Look, he's got Gobert committed. He's got Carl Anderson jumping. Naz Reid is out the play. And it's an easy dump-off pass here to Josh Hart, who can then finish the easy bucket. Something that people might not notice if they only watch the highlights or look at the box scores is his movement without the ball. That's the third thing on my list, and I want to take a deeper look. Okay, on this possession, OG right here spacing the floor. Jalen Brunson's got the ball in his hands. He's more than likely going to get shot up, which he does. He misses. The Knicks get the offensive rebound. But I want you to see this. Grimes is calling for the ball. OG's just off the screen over here. But what he's going to do is he's going to cut straight to the paint. The reason why he wants to do that, you'll see it in a second, is he cuts straight to the paint because he wants to seal this defender from getting the closeout on Grimes. Troy Brown is already split between guarding the ball and Josh Hart. And here, Jalen Brunson should recognize the wide open pass, which he does. He does a great job. And now OG's under the hoop. Now, the Timberwolves were playing a lot of zone in this game. As you can see, the 3 defenders there and the 2 defenders there. So OG decides to space out to the corner to create some more space in the middle. A little give and go. And then OG is there. If he needs to receive that little pass, he'll be able to cut to the hoop as Rudy Gobert is already committed to going vertically. Instead, the Knicks end up with a nice and one, all because of his unselfish cutting. Right here, OG gives up the ball. And as soon as Mike Conley turns his head, his vision is going this way. OG's going to recognize that and cut in right behind him. He does that, and as soon as he's cut, he's spreading to the corner. The Timberwolves still in their zone, and what you want to do is overload the strong side with the ball, because now, look at this. You've got 4 Knicks players, 1, 2, 3, 4, and only 1, 2 defenders involved in the action. Carl Anderson's out of the action by this time, right? And as he's cut to the corner, okay, it's this man's job, Troy Brown, to guard both positions. They know Rudy Gobert wants to stay here in the paint, so OG causes an indecision from the defender. As you can see, he has to take a step down now to respect OG's corner shooting. So that leaves a wide open 3 for Josh Hart. The reason why OG fits perfectly into this Knicks team is shown in that last clip. It's not just his 38% three-point shooting, but it's his corner shooting in particular, which is what this Knicks offense needs. New York shoot the corner 3 ball at a top 10 frequency in the NBA, but they only knock it down at an average rate. This was the case over the past few seasons, but adding Donte DiVincenzo over the summer has been huge to help this. He's shooting 63% from the right corner, and now they've picked up OG, who shoots 50% from the left corner. Boy, that floor is going to be wide open. And you know, with players like Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle who need that space to operate on the inside, this is key for getting their offense cooking. So when he's not opening up opportunities for other players and it's his turn to score, OG's pretty good. So let's take a look at reason number 4, and that's OG scoring. We talked about it, you guessed it. His first bucket for the Knicks, it was a corner 3. I love seeing the subtle things. As you can see right here, I want you to watch Jalen Brunson, okay? He's going to tell OG, who's in the right-hand corner, to switch with DiVincenzo, who's down here. You can't see him right now. They're going to switch corners. It's OG's first game with the Knicks. You want to get him easy looks. As you can see that, OG goes to his left corner where he shoots his highest percentage. And what happens? He's wide open and he knocks it down. You know, it's automatic anytime OG gets the ball in the corner. 50% is not automatic, but it's as close as automatic can be in the NBA. As you can see from these examples here, OG in the corner, absolute marksman. And it's not just behind the three-point line where he can contribute. He's a fantastic athlete, which means he can get opportunities in the paint as well. The dunker spot is usually filled by big men, but with his vertical leap and his strength, he gets easy opportunities in this spot as well. Look at OG, poised, ready to catch the ball down in the dunker spot. He's waiting for the pass. He catches it, elevates over the 7-footer, stares at Rudy a little bit when he dunks that. As you can see here, Rudy is so focused on what's happening with the ball. OG knows there's going to be an easy opportunity. He's waiting in the dunker spot. He receives a beautiful pass from Brunson, and it's another dunk. Now here, you see OG, Anthony Edwards is falling asleep a little bit. He's focused on the ball, not knowing whether Gobert is going to slide down. So OG sees this, and he's going to cut immediately to the hoop. And that's what happens, and you guessed it, another dunk. And being an athlete like OG, transition dunks are always going to be a staple. Now, OG was playing his first game for the Knicks, so he was being extremely unselfish, just looking to pass the ball, space the floor, and we're going to see how his scoring improves with the ball in his hands as time moves forward. One advantage he has is when he posts up smaller players, and the Knicks only ran 2 plays for this game. One of them I showed you at the start of this video, and this was the other one, a post up against a smaller opponent. So here, the Knicks do a great job of realizing OG is guarded by the smaller Mike Conley. So they give him a post-up. Now, as he receives the ball, he instantly is scanning the floor, looking for his teammates, because he's going to see Rudy Gobert coming across to help and double team, leaving Isaiah Hartenstein wide open. And OG's going to place, he's not going to pass to where Hartenstein is on the 3-point line. He knows he's not trying to shoot that. He knows he's trying to cut inside. So he's going to place the ball perfectly in the right spot for Hartenstein, who receives it. And it would be another hockey assist for OG. DiVincenzo doesn't get this one, but it's about the process. I like the process of what's going on. When he posts up these smaller players, he can either score himself or create opportunities for his teammates. So far, we've looked at his defense. We've looked at his passing. We've looked at his off-ball movement. We've looked at his scoring. But the 5th reason is the most important reason for me, and the most important thing you can add to a team that's trying to contend in the playoffs. And that's hustle. Generating extra opportunities for your team can be the difference maker, especially in close games. Now, we all know you can do this by diving on loose balls and saving the possession. Whoa. But an underappreciated part of this is rebounding. A defensive rebound ends the possession for the opposing team, and an offensive rebound generates another opportunity for your team to score the basketball. All right, now if you were to see this screen right now, where OG is, and I was to tell you the ball's going to end up here, you would think he has no way of getting it, right? Instead, the rebound comes off, OG hustles for it, there's 3 Timberwolves around him, and he comes up with an extra possession. In this possession, you've got Rudy Gobert under the bucket. This should be his board. You've also got 2 other Timberwolves players who are going to try and get it along with Rudy. Instead, OG is the one after a tip from Hartenstein who saves the possession, leads to the free throws for Quentin Grimes. So those are the 5 main things that I'm looking at OG Anunoby to bring to the New York Knicks. Do I think they're at the top of the Eastern Conference contending with the Celtics, the Bucks? Probably not. But are they in the rest of the pack Notice how I didn't say the Sixers. You guys who listen to the podcast with BJ Armstrong that I do, you know my opinion on the Sixers when it gets to the playoffs. But do I think they're up there with Miami? Definitely. Do I think they're up there with Cleveland? I think they're a bit better than Cleveland. I'm excited to see how this goes. I think they've got another move coming, but OG Anunoby is a very underappreciated player in the NBA, and now he's in New York. I think the rest of the fans of the NBA are going to start to appreciate him a little more. I'm intrigued to see whether the Knicks can get some more scoring off their bench to replace what Immanuel Quickley left behind when he went to Toronto. But overall, I think this is a very good trade. He gives them one of the best defenders in the league, and his unselfishness on offense is vital when you've got players like Randall and Brunson on your roster. Oh, and if you're new here, you should know I do a podcast with three-time NBA champion BJ Armstrong and Knicks former general manager Scott Perry. He joins us once a week. This week, he joined us twice because we had to have him break down this trade. So if you haven't heard that yet, check out the description, check out the Hoop Genius podcast and get involved. Let me know in the comments what breakdowns you want to see. I know you guys are still waiting on that Şengün one, but he keeps impressing. He keeps putting up performances that are better and better. And I've got too many clips now. The video is now like 3 hours long, so I need to cut that down, get that for you. Let me know in the comments what breakdowns you want to see. Hopefully you subscribe because I'm trying to build this channel, new year, consistency, all of that. I'll see you in the next one. Get buckets.